This is a school in crisis. More than half of its students are not graduating. They will drop out of school and face a difficult and uncertain future. So what happens to these students, kids who leave school before graduating? Well, many of them will start their own families. Kids, raising kids. So many of them will have to work 18-hour days just to support those families. Too many young adults will be condemned to a life of poverty and dependence. And then there are those who will succumb to a life of crime, becoming statistics that confirm that 88% of inmates never finished high school. But then one woman saw this sad trend facing her community and decided to step in. She saw this inevitable and bleak future waiting these students. She rose to the occasion and saved hundreds of students from dropping out of school. Hi, I'm fellow Academy member Isan Miles, and I encourage you to watch this incredible and true story of a community leader who stopped at nothing to ensure that the children in her community would have a better future. Uno a uno, one-on-one. Watch it to see how miracles can and do happen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Luis Maldonado, President of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. I would like to welcome you all for being here with us. Thank you so much. I'm going to kick off our program by introducing a gentleman that really does not need an introduction. He's a community leader. He is a champion for all of us. And I welcome to the stage, Luis Miranda. Buenas noches. Yo sé que ahora empezamos con el programa, así que vamos a oírnos un poquito y después seguimos la fiesta. Le voy a pedir a las mesas de atrás que presten un poquito de atención al programa y luego seguimos con la celebración. Primero que nada, quiero darle a todos las gracias por estar aquí, por celebrar la puertorriqueñidad. Y este año, igual que el año pasado y por las últimas 5 décadas, es importante que sigamos haciendo eso. But my job tonight is just very specific. I'm here to introduce someone who needs no introduction in this room or in this city, but needs exposure in Iowa. I'm not going to tell you the name yet, because he's a friend of our community forever. From fighting for parents in school boards 1,000,000 years ago to becoming the highest ranking official in our city, always committed to progressive policies. After Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, he mobilized the city's resources to help Puerto Ricans come to New York and send over 300 city workers to help the island. The Post always criticizes him. In fact, the Post, who's no friend of the Puerto Rican community, is supposedly talking on our behalf on his recent trip. But we know that they always criticize this person that I'm about to introduce when he talks about health for all or ID card for everyone regardless of immigrant status. Anything that he says that is not a Trump policy, they criticize. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you a friend of our community for a very, very long time, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Buenas noches a todos. Everybody, let's talk about Luis Miranda for a moment. Have you ever met anybody in your entire life who loved his homeland more than Luis Miranda? Isn't it amazing? A lot of us have known Luis for decades and decades. He is so profoundly committed to Puerto Rico and to the Puerto Rican people here in New York City and all over this country. And he has used all of his strength, all of his power to help the people of Puerto Rico. His son's done pretty good also, don't you think? But I have to say, when Luis Miranda and Lin-Manuel Miranda took Hamilton to Puerto Rico, to bring that extraordinary work of art to the people of Puerto Rico, but also to provide support and to show that Puerto Rico would always be in our hearts, never be forgotten. We would stand shoulder to shoulder always. I have to say, the Miranda family, and particularly a thanks to Luis Miranda for all they have done for Puerto Rico and for this city. Let's thank them. So doesn't it feel to you like when we get to this week in the year, the summer has finally begun? But I have a question. Are there any New Yorkers in the house? Are there any hermanos y hermanas who were born in the island in this house? es un verdadero placer celebrar un lugar y un pueblo que quiero tanto. And I have to say, if you really love Puerto Rico, then it's important to elevate Puerto Ricans to positions of importance so they can help lead this city. And I had the honor of doing that with our new Commissioner for the Aging. You may have met her once or twice. Let's thank Lorraine Cortez Vasquez. And another leader who is truly beloved all over this city, our Commissioner for Community Affairs, Marco Carrion. I thank everyone here tonight in support of the community. I thank all the elected officials who are here. I thank all of the members of the board of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. Let's thank them for all they do. And this year, as in every year, we celebrate one place in particular in La Isla del Encanto, one place in particular that we love, and this year it is Loíza. And long ago, Charlene and I, before we were even married, we visited Loíza, and we saw the beauty of that town, and then after Hurricane Maria, Charlene went back to Loíza to provide support and to bring mental health aid to the people of Loíza who have suffered so much. Let's give a salute, let's give our love to the people of Loíza this evening. And we have to always show the people of our city and our nation the contributions of the Puerto Rican people that have made such a difference. And you know, we've been putting up statues and monuments lately to start to show the true history, the full history of our city and our nation. And we just announced this week that there will be a beautiful monument in the hub in the Bronx, a Roberto Clemente monument that will be absolutely outstanding. And the artist, a woman of Puerto Rican descent, Melissa Calderon, who has created something beautiful for the people of this city and the people of the Bronx. Now, we also must remain committed to Puerto Rico going forward. I've said many times, New York City will stand by Puerto Rico as long as it takes. And you know, we finally got some good news this week. It took the Congress long enough to pass a disaster bill, didn't it? But finally, there will be $1.4 billion for Puerto Rico, and I want to thank all of you. A lot of people in this room fought very hard for that aid, and I commend you and I thank you. And no matter how hard you fight, there's always a challenge we face, which is unfortunately the President of the United States does not seem to understand that Puerto Rico is a part of America. Wherever I go, I say if 3.5 million people in Connecticut, the size of the state of Connecticut, the size of Puerto Rico, if 3.5 million people in Connecticut suffered a devastating hurricane, the entire U.S. military would have been sent. But not to Puerto Rico. And we have to keep fighting until that is made right. And Luis is right. New York City sent 300 people right away because if the federal government wasn't going to do it, New York City was going to be there for the people of Puerto Rico. And they came from the fire department, the police department, the sanitation department, the buildings department. Some of them may be here tonight. Let's thank those city workers who went to help the people of Puerto Rico. But my friends, we must make sure from this point on our nation never forgets Puerto Rico, and this city will lead the way. Nueva York y Puerto Rico están unidos hoy y siempre. And the last thing I will say tonight is, que viva Puerto Rico!